made a few mistakes, but I'm improving. I'm human, but I've been making daily resolutions. I got to. You might do it different, but I'm not you.
Hey, Mark.
I'm self-made. I'm
Hey, Mark.
doing things that I
Mark.
was never taught.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, get to have open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, the struggles that we go through, the things that fucking suck in our life, and the things that cause us pain, the things that hurt. So, at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is basically, raise awareness and start conversations around things that we just don't want to talk about. A lot of the times for myself, that comes down to, depression, anxiety, discipline, accountability, self-esteem, self-respect, self-image, the things that, like I said, the things that, maybe I don't want to talk about all the time, or the things that I find other people don't want to talk about all the time. The reason that I want to do this is to create the conversation so that we can all talk about the problems that we're dealing with and not have to suffer in silence. I think it's important to try and be the type of person that you needed when you were younger. And so that's like a phrase or a sentence that we hear a lot of the time, or we hear a lot on social media, but I just wanted to kind of put that into practice. And so that's what we're doing right now. So welcome to Hey Mark. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump into what it is I wanted to chat about today, which is, it kind of started with a bumper sticker that I got on my truck and has grown to, actually, I guess it started with a bunch of me and my buddies that just kind of started saying this, and then we got the bumper stickers, and now it's just caught on. But anyways, what I'm trying to say here is no bad days. No bad days. So what do I mean when I say no bad days? Now, this is going to be a pretty short episode because I feel like this is something that's pretty self-explanatory, but I mean there's no bad days. And so you might be saying, wow, Mark, it must be fucking nice to live in a perfect world like you where there's no bad days. And I'm going to tell you straight up, that's not how my life has always been. Actually, it is how my life has always been. And this is the best way to explain it, is that my perspective was shitty before. I thought that a lot of the times I was having bad days, bad weeks, bad months. Oh, it's just a bad year. Well, how many times are you going to accept that in your life? How many times are you going to accept a whole year being a bad year, a whole month being a bad month, or a whole week being a bad week? When it comes down to it, days are bad when we think that they're bad, when we let ourselves, surrender our energy levels, our emotional levels, and when we allow our days to control those things completely without having the perspective of, gratefulness, without having the perspective that, perhaps it's possible to have a good day or an average day and just have a couple of bad moments that go on throughout the day, and just understand that those are just bad moments. Maybe you have a day where, it's an average day, it's a pretty all right day, it's standard, or maybe it is a great day, it's a good day. And then you have a window of time where maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of terrible things happen to you, or you get some bad news, or somebody says something to you that really hurts your feelings, gets under your skin, hurts you a little bit. It doesn't make your day bad. Obviously, if you have a huge, terrible, tragic life event happen to you, that's a completely different situation where that kind of thing is obviously going to make your day a pretty shitty day. And then there's those days where it seems like a million little things kind of stack up and become all these bad little things throughout your day. Look, at the end of the day, if you're having a good day and you have like a little time period of like 10 to 20 minutes, maybe an hour of shitty things happening to you, let's just be honest, that's 1 hour out of 24. We're not going to say that that's a bad day. That's a pretty average day if you only have like a couple of things go wrong. And so to call that a bad day, like, you just kind of have to be realistic with ourselves and honest with ourselves. That's not a bad day. That's an average day. Sometimes shitty things are going to happen. It is what it is. If you have like kind of a day where maybe you get, like some pretty tragic news, maybe a huge life event happens that really does impact you, then I guess, yeah, you could consider that being a bad day. And that's kind of really like the only excuse I see for having a quote unquote bad day. Because look, I have these days as well where, you know, it seems like there's a million little things going wrong and it's just not your day. That's what I always say sometimes when I have those days, is like, oh, it's just not my day today. It's just one of those days. And it's like, man, one thing I've been trying to tell myself that has really actually been helping me out in the last couple months, and it's become like kind of a joke between me and a couple of people that are kind of close to me, is like, look, you don't have bad days when those days are happening. What you're having is a character developing day. Those are days where you're going to develop patience. You're going to develop new skills to overcome the challenges that you're going to face throughout that day. Maybe you're facing a challenge that you've never faced at work before. Well, that's an opportunity for you to learn new shit. You know, you can look at a day where 100 or a million little things go wrong and think, man, this is just not my day. It's a bad day. Or you can look at that day and say, dude, that's training camp. That's literally character development right there. Whether that's emotional maturity, some spiritual growth, some physical growth, you're gonna make some strength gains. I don't know. The only difference between a good day and a bad day is your perspective on it. You can choose to be grateful for the things that you do have in your life, and you can choose to be grateful for the opportunity to learn and develop and grow every single day, because that's what challenges do for us. Or you can have the perspective and you can choose to look at life like glass is half empty, everyone's trying to fuck you over, and the universe is just trying to ruin your life. It's not your day, it's not your week, it's not your month, it's not your year. Well, guess what? Eventually, you're gonna have to make it your day, your week, your month, and your year. That takes effort and accountability from you. And so, this is just a little mental exercise. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna try and tell you that you're not having a good time, because if you're not having a good time, you're clearly not having a good time. This is just my personal perspective on how you can shift your mindset so that maybe you can knock off a few more of those bad days, consider them to be personal development days, actually try and reflect on them and grow from them. And then that's gonna limit how many of those quote unquote bad days you have in the future. And it's also gonna limit how much those quote unquote bad days are able to impact you in the future. That's pretty much it. I don't wanna beat a dead horse and just continue to repeat myself. That's my perspective on what quote unquote bad days are. And it's also my little reasoning behind why me and some of my buddies like to say no bad days. That's pretty much it. Obviously not every day is gonna be the best. Obviously not every day is gonna be amazing. And obviously there are days that aren't as fun as others. But at the end of the day, no bad days, baby. Let's go. Go out and be the best you. Thank you for the love and the support. Peace out.